Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. Oh, be careful, little mouth, what you say. There's a father up above, and he's looking down in love. So be careful, little mouth, what you say.
Hey, the outsider!
Alice, you sure you're doing fine?
Jess, I swear, there's something really messed up going on in these woods.
Calm down. What did you see?
It's hard to explain. Memories? Bad memories.
Visage is an unassuming psychological horror title that takes you to a horrific journey of relentlessly brutal murder-suicide, as the opening sequence followed by loads of paranormal occurrences. Followed by men made out of mysterious black grease, to a monstrous mannequin stalking the halls, to a scary grandma walking around the house. Believe me, they are really unique. And like no other horror game, you are absolutely defenseless against the supernatural nightmares. Visage wields an intricate, Moorish narrative and a downright horrifying set pieces in equal measure. In that way, Visage manages to create something that feels like it taps into real human nature as much as real human fears. Undeniably, monsters are at their best when they represent something deep or repressed. The ghosts of this house are each a manifestation of needs going unmet, desires ignored, vices given into. Each character further emphasizes the pain of deteriorating mental health. Visage is such a brilliant little gem of a game, as it does so much more than to aim to scare through typical methods alone. Sinking into tragic stories that are by themselves inherently horrifying. The horror in Visage is a result of showing rather than telling, with a surreal shift in scenery or a scribbled child's drawings, which does double the work as both engaging backstory and outright stomach-knotting imagery that comes when you least expect it. This is one of the games where you come home Friday night, switch off your lights, and plug into for a thriller horror experience. Blair Witch is a first-person survival horror game developed by the Blooper team and published by Lionsgate Games. The game is set in 1996, 2 years after the events of the Blair Witch Project movie. The game kept me wondering if I'm losing my mind with the fairly simple premise of being lost in some woods, and creates a very wonderful, unsettling journey. It's rendered here in an eerie, muted color palette that adds to a sense of foreboding and helplessness with its spindly, grasping trees and rich but subtle sound design. During the day, I always got the impression that I was being watched, or that I wasn't supposed to be there. At nights, everything transforms into an oppressive, heart-pounding, sometimes disorienting nightmare that made me long for the limited relief that the sun's rays could bring. The main character, Ellis, has his own complex, layered and bone-chilling backstory to discover along the way. The major inclusion that makes this eerie atmosphere bearable is Bullet, the German Shepherd company that we have. The sound design and music are expertly poised to enhance the tension and terror around every turn. Blair Witch will make you really uncomfortable at times, but I would suggest horror game fans to must try this beauty. Little Nightmares is a puzzle platform horror adventure game developed by Tarsier Studios and published by Bandai Namco Entertainment. The game follows the journey of a hungry little child who must escape the mysterious world inhabited by the eerie, monstrous, and twisted beings. The character is generally rendered helpless in a sick environment due to the lack of any combat abilities and must rely on stealth and environment to hide from the various enemies. Hide and seek is a horror game. You run from a pursuer, hurriedly choose a hiding spot, then just wait with only breath and heartbeat in your ears for a pair of legs to pass your slim field of view. They stop, you stop breathing. They pass, you start breathing. And then they are back. You caught, the game is over. It's a design that horror games have always favored. Little Nightmares capture something more nuanced. That creeping fright of waiting to be caught. Every room, every meat grinder used to make a rope of sausages to swing from contributes to the story of the small character's seeming breakout. This game will always at all point will keep you on the edge and is a must play for all the horror fans out there. Outlast 2 is a 2017 first-person psychological survival horror game developed and published by Red Barrels. Outlast 2 sends us to a less trodden road of Sonoran Desert, where the protagonist Blake Langman is searching for his wife Lynn after a crash landing in the cult-ridden Supai region. Outlast 2 is a deep south horror, all untamed cornfields, dilapidated shacks, and go-figure gory remnants of unspeakable religious rites. Linearity in Outlast 2 is deceptive, so each of these escapes feel like a skin off your teeth frantic. Personally, this is the most horrific and terrifying games I have ever played. The game's jump scares made me scream a couple of times. Like other horror games, you are completely defenseless against these monstrosities, and fleeing or hiding are the only real options. I would suggest play this game at your own risk. Ill is an upcoming first-person survival horror game developed by Team Cloud and published by Munfish. Set in a creepy abandoned research fort overtaken by a grotesque entity, the game promises visceral body horror experiences with advanced dismemberment mechanics. Trailer emphasizes atmospheric tension and hyper-realistic visuals. Though some are skeptical about how fluid the gameplay will feel in practice. The game pushes the boundaries of the genre with its gory realism, grotesque monsters that can be mutilated and mercilessly torn apart, ripped flesh, exposed bones, disemboweled bodies. All of this will make an unprecedented impression and will shock you to the core, according to the developers.